Welcome to the FiveOne volleyball channel. My name is Dan, and in this video I'm going to go over everything that you guys need to know for the upcoming Volleyball Nations League tournament starting May 28th. It feels like forever since we've had any international volleyball. There are 1,352,078 ways you can make a 7-minute highlight tape of Yuji Nishida's 23 aces in the 2019 VNL, and I think we've just about reached that mark. I'm going to split this video into two parts. First part going over the top 8 teams, second part going over the next 8 teams. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys love pro volleyball, because there's lots more content coming, and I hope you enjoy this video that will go over more than just Japan and Brazil.
Let the celebrations begin.
The way this is going to work is that there's 5 tiers, so if you guys want an idea of how I grouped my rankings together, just pay attention to the tiers. Let's start off with team number 16, the Netherlands. They were recently added to the tournament after China dropped out, being the next ranked team in the international rankings. You guys can see I have my my Dutch jersey here. I'm not Dutch at all, but you know, I thought I had it around, so why not wear it for our newest team of the VNL. Unfortunately, they are still ranked number 16 to me. I do probably see them finishing at the bottom of the tournament. Of course, they have Namir Abdelaziz, who's super fun to watch. So even if the Netherlands overall isn't that exciting, he'll be great, getting lots of aces. Wouldn't be surprised if he led the tournament. Of course, we have Teister Horst, who had a great season playing opposite for Perugia, going to move back to the outside hitter position for the Netherlands. Other than that, not really that exciting. They do have a big gap at setter, but at least we have Namir on the Netherlands. Could see them taking out a good team or two. My second team in tier 5 and ranking number 15 is Australia. While I love the Australian team and it's tough putting them this low, they're so much fun to watch. The singing, dancing on the bench, exciting, athletic team. Unfortunately, I just don't see the skill level there to compete at the higher level. They don't seem to really have that many exciting young players to fill in some of the roster retirements they've had in the recent years. One player to watch for Australia, Lincoln Williams, who had a monster year in France, led the league in scoring, was on the championship winning con, but unfortunately, outside of that, I don't see a lot of firepower like the Netherlands on this Australian team. I bet they're feeling very happy that no team will be dropping out of the VNL this year, because they were definitely a risk of being the last place challenger team. My last place team in tier 5, a team that I don't really see being that competitive, is Germany. Of course, Germany does have some good young prospects. I'm most interested in seeing Linus Weber, who had a great season in Friedrichshafen and is looking to be Germany's next big opposite. But unfortunately, I don't think these young players are quite ready to compete on the highest level. One player that I've been excited about in the past, I put him as one of my top prospects of the 2018 VNL, Tobias Kriek. Unfortunately, hasn't really improved as much as I would like to see. He still really struggles reading decisions, and you know, I think he should hit more efficiently than how he is considering his size and athleticism. But we'll see. Maybe this summer is the summer where Tobias Kriek takes it to the next level. All right, now we're going into tier 4, which is a big one. I don't consider these teams contenders, but probably one of them could sneak in to the final 6 if things go their way. The team I'm ranking at 13 is Bulgaria, and I had a great talk with Bogdan of Volleyball Explained, another fantastic YouTube channel. Go check that out. Talking about this team, really going in depth into the roster, but basically this year we're probably not going to see a lot of familiar faces from Bulgaria that you guys may know, like the Bratuev brothers and Viktor Yosifov, but we will see some exciting young Bulgarian prospects like Martin Atanisov, Georgi Petrov, and Alex Grozdanov. And in fact, I think Martin Atanisov is really going to impress people in VNL this year. I think he could be one of the leading scorers, and hopefully you guys are able to watch him. But unfortunately, I just don't see the experience with this team. Also, the traditionally very strong Bulgarian middle blockers are not looking that strong for this tournament. So it'll be interesting to see a Bulgaria that's stronger on the wings and weaker in the middle, something we haven't seen very recently. A team that I moved up in the rankings since I did them on my podcast, Slovenia, is looking to bring their top lineup to this tournament. I feel bad for them because they were robbed in 2017 when they transitioned from World League to Nations League. They were the team that beat Japan in the finals of 2017 World League Group 2, which would have qualified them to Group 1. But unfortunately, they switched to Nations League and somehow Slovenia was left out. But they won the Challenger Cup last year. They were second in Eurovolley 2019. This is a really good team for those of you guys who might not be familiar. Klemen Šebuls, Tina Arenaut, Jan Kazimiernik, very underrated libero, Yanni Kovacic, Dejan Vincic, a great team. And one guy I'm very excited to see is Rok Mazic, the outside hitter who I talked about in my top prospects to watch video. You can click here if you want to watch the whole thing. He's an exciting player that I hope gets some good playing time in Nations League. The question with Slovenia is all their best accomplishments have really been in front of an amazing, energetic, frenetic home crowd. Can they replicate that with no fans in this Italian bubble? I feel like they're going to struggle a bit, so we'll see. My next team at number 11 in Tier 4 might shock a few people watching this, and that's Japan. And I know some of you might say immediately, okay, Japan is Ishikawa, they have Nishida, they finished, I think, 3rd at the World Cup in 2019, but I feel like a lot of fans maybe overrate the significance of the World Cup, considering the tournament is kind of designed for Japan. They can play at home in front of their crowd, and a lot of teams did not bring their best lineup to that tournament. That being said, I love watching Japan. They're very exciting, very fun team to watch, especially as, you know, someone who is an undersized player. It's interesting to see how they can still work around big blocks despite being undersized. Of course, Ishikawa and Nishida are their two biggest names, but another guy to watch out for, Ron Takahashi, who should be joining the team for VNL this year. Very exciting outside hitter, young guy, and I think he could take that second outside spot next to Ishikawa. Now, I know Nishida injured his ankle a few weeks ago. However, the reports coming in are that he will still be joining the team for VNL. I guess just a mild ankle sprain. Hopefully he's able to, because Nishida is incredible to watch. And I think he's going to surprise a few more experienced traditional coaches who are doubting him, because he has improved a lot since we last saw him in 2019. And, you know, watch out for that serve, because especially as a Canadian, I'm scared he's going to go on another like 6-7 serving run that's going to get 3 million views on YouTube again. Another team I consider to be in the mix here at number 10 is my native Canada. Canada's one of those teams that's qualified for the Olympics, so of course the focus is going to be on that, but hopefully Nations League can answer a few questions. A couple of those big questions are who's going to play opposite Siobhan Vernon Evans, one of the darlings of volleyball, one of the best prospects a couple of years ago, sat the whole season on the bench in Perugia. We barely saw him play. Meanwhile, Ryan Sclater was the best player on the best team in the regular season in France, Montpellier. So it'll be interesting to see if we go with potential or a sure thing in Ryan Sclater. For me, I think Sclater is going to start off the bat. There's also the question of TJ Sanders. He's been very injured the past few years with some back problems, had to cancel a club season, didn't play last year, but he'll be coming to Nations League this year, which is very interesting to see. I think he has some of the best pure hands in the game. Of course, if he's still so athletically limited, if he still can't block, if he still can't spin serve, that's going to make it tough to play him, and Canada will probably go with Jay Blankenau or Brett Walsh, but we'll see. I think the ceiling is a lot higher for Canada with TJ Sanders setting. Another player to watch for Canada this year, and I have a lot because I'm Canadian, I know the team well, Eric Lepke, graduating from Trinity Western, played his first season starting in Italy for Ravenna. He was one of the most exciting rookies to watch in Italy this year. Had a great season, better than TJ DeFalco, if you want an American comparison. And I think he'll get a lot of playing time in the VNL, in the bubble in Italy. And he's a fantastic, fun player to watch. Got a lot of cool highlights if you want to check it out, and a wicked serve. But the reason that I have Canada 10 and not higher is because I still feel like there's too many question marks with the team, and also they don't really have a star player, which a lot of the teams above them, in my opinion, do. Another team in Tier 4, and yeah, there's a lot of these teams, I wouldn't be surprised if Japan finishes above this team, which is Argentina. Who, I was close between putting Canada or Argentina number 9, but Argentina has gone the better of Canada the last few matchups, so they win the tiebreak, and for a good reason too. They have some exciting young players to watch, combined with some 5-star veterans in Luciano De Cecco, Sebastian Sole, Facundo Conte. All right, guys, a bit of an update here from Argentina. I'm recording this right before the start of Nations League. Unfortunately, some of the players on their team got quarantined with the sickness that we have all grown to know and love. So that means for Argentina, we'll be missing some pretty big names. For me, the most interesting one, probably Santiago Denani and Augusto Luzer won't be there. As you can see, most of their talent is in the setter and middle blocker. So if Argentina is in system, they're like extremely tough to beat. They check over Sanchez to Soler or Luzer or Pablo Quer. Absolutely devastating offense, and they have some great receivers as well. If you can't break down Argentina's reception, they are a very difficult team to beat. That's why I have them over teams like Canada, Japan, and Slovenia. Of course, if they are out of system, they don't really have a lot of high ball guys to go to, other than maybe Facundo Conte. They really don't have an opposite that you can rely on for 30 sets a game. And their second outside hitter usually is more of a reception guy rather than an offensive player. All right, guys, that does it for part 1, the first 8-team preview for Volleyball Nations League 2021. So subscribe to the channel, activate those notifications, activate that bell if you guys want to know when part 2 is coming out.